Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to the Toronto Raptors 132-97 loss to the Philadelphia 76ers, our final game of the season. Unfortunately, the Toronto Raptors have been knocked out in Game 6 of the NBA playoffs, trying to make a historic comeback. Unfortunately, it wasn't in the cards. It wasn't the thing that was going to happen for this team. But, folks, we got a lot to talk about this game, sort of summarizing the playoffs. Riker and I are going to break down a bunch of things, sort of heading into this offseason, the storylines, the things we got to break down. But the first thing I want to pronounce is thank you to the Toronto Raptors, because they gave us an amazing season this year. I had high expectations for this team, but realistically, they exceeded everyone's probabilities, all of the expectations this season, making it to the 5th seed after just ups and downs of the trials that happen with a young team, right? They fought through a bunch of adversity this season and made it all the way to the 5th seed, and then in a playoff series where Fred VanVleet came into it hobbled. Gary Trent Jr. came into it with an illness that essentially wrote him off the court for the first 2 games, where Scottie Barnes goes down in Game 1 and is playing on one leg essentially for the rest of the series after being out for the first 3 games. Thaddeus Young, our key role player off the bench, had a thumb injury going into it, and obviously people only talk about the Embiid thumb injury and stuff, and then Fred VanVleet eventually ends up going out, not playing a single second in Games 5 and 6 of this playoffs. The Toronto Raptors, for a team that is notorious or was talked about as not being deep, as not being a team with a bunch, a 7-man rotation, Nick Nurse playing all the guys, the heavy minutes throughout the year. This is a remarkable effort that they put forth against a team that is the epitome of win now. And credit to the Philadelphia 76ers. They earned it. Yes, we can talk about the refs. Yes, we can talk about whatever, but over the course of the series, yes, we can talk about injuries. They came out and played really well, especially in the second half of this game. And as much as I want to roast Embiid, as much as I dislike James Harden, all that sort of stuff, I'm giving my credit to him, and especially my credit to Tyrese Maxey, right? He was electrifying tonight. He's a young star for that team. Honestly, outplayed Harden in this playoff series. So best of luck. I know there's going to be a bunch of Sixers fans in the chat, and you know what? Good on you. You get the right to roast. You get the right to do whatever you want. But if you're flexing on the baby Raptors, the pups, the young team that was supposed to be tanking this season, if you're flexing on that, we'll see what happens when you play the Miami Heat. We'll see what happens. But folks, quality stuff. I'm going to talk about this game for a little bit. People are asking where Riker is. He's in class. And couldn't get out early, and we're going to be breaking down. We're still coming in with the videos, especially next week, to summarize this here. This is just the immediate reaction to this one. And first things first, credit to Pascal Siakam. Shout out to Spicy P, Pascal Siakam. 24 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals in this game, 9 of 17. He had a remarkable series. I thought Game 1 he was good, even though we got blown out. He had one bad game in Game 3 where he was, not people wanted his head on a stick following that game. But ever since that moment, he was averaging 20. Well, what would that number be? He's probably averaged like 26 points per game. I don't have the number in front of me for the past 3 games of the series. Absolutely dominated in the paint, scoring in the mid-range. Wasn't really hitting his threes, but that's that's remarkable performance for Pascal Siakam. Now, I'm sure the discussion will remain whether he's a number 1 option, whether he's this, whether he's that, but he is clearly a star, an all-NBA caliber player for this Raptors squad. So tip your hat to him. Tip your hat to Pascal Siakam. Man is just balling. Whether you're a Siakam hater or a Siakam lover, right, you got to give credit for him in this performance this series. Honestly, it's hard to talk about this game. I'm going to keep pushing through, but Chris Boucher tonight. He kept us in it, man. He kept us in it. He's a guy that's a free agent this offseason. He's probably going to be the biggest storyline heading into the offseason, whether we're able to keep him around. But 25 points, 10 rebounds, 7 of 13 from the field, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Chris Boucher was electrifying in this series, or in this game. Not necessarily the series, but he played phenomenally. He played phenomenal in this game. Finishing around the rim, had the courage to face off against top star center in Joel Embiid, face-to-face, head-to-head with him, and probably outplayed him in this game. That's my take. I'm running with that, Sixers fans. Whoever's watching this back, probably not. But, shout out to Chris Boucher. We got a super chat coming in from T.Finest 97 saying Raps surpassed my expectations by far. Proud. Got to be proud of this team, man. They came out and balled out this season. And as said, all of the stuff at the beginning. All the stuff at the beginning. The Raptors fought so much adversity this series. To bring it to 6 is absolutely remarkable. So I'm excited. We're gonna be talking a lot about the future of the Toronto Raptors team. But shout out to Chris Boucher. I'm running through the guys here tonight. I thought the star boy Gary Trent Jr. was great in this one as well. Are the segments? Oh, the segments are gonna bail on me in the last game of the season. That is what it is. It is what it is. The Raptors are done, so the segments are done for the year. But even though the buttons aren't working, the star boy Gary Trent Jr. 19 points, especially at the start of this game, first half, really just scored some buckets on that Philadelphia zone. Gary Trent Jr. has so much potential. He's going to be a huge topic of discussion this offseason as well. But probably for the last time this season. We'll see. If we end up doing other game reactions. But Records not here to do the drum roll. But the Scotty Barnes Award tonight. It's a lifetime season achievement award for Scotty Barnes in this one. Being Rookie of the Year, being the guy. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. Great game. Great game for Scotty Barnes. He had some rookie mistakes, some rookie moments there, which did, if he's being relied upon as be the point guard, you expect that from a rookie, from a number whatever guy. But I don't know. Shout out to okay, that segment's working. Okay, maybe the segments will be good. But shout out to Scotty Barnes playing well. We have super chat coming in from Shay Rana saying Pascal was 30% from the 3-point line, 5 fouls in this playoffs. Frowny face. Shaw, man, you've been hating on Siakam this entire year. This guy averaged like 26 points per game for us in the last 3 games of the series. In the biggest closeout games, clutch time. Get out of here with the Siakam hate. It will not be taken, even though I appreciate the super chat. Our guy, Marcel, coming in with another super chat as well, saying is Chris Boucher coming back next season. Marcel, that's going to be a big topic of discussion because I don't really know his value on the open market. I don't know what the deal is with him. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Shout out to Marcel now, especially with the Raptors over. You want your digest fix? Check out Courtside Digest. Marcel's been killing it on there with the live streams, getting the news feeds going. So, Marcel, you can comment on that. Comment in the chat on the Courtside Digest. People know. But it is what it is. The Raptors. OG Anunoby had a rough last few games from the series. Foul trouble killed him early. 5 points in this one. Needed more out of him in this game. Thaddeus Young, I thought Thaddeus Young, let's see the segment. Okay, the segments are back. But Thaddeus Young, I thought he made some nice passes, 7 rebounds, lots of hustle, doing his thing. 0 points. He's going to be another topic of discussion this offseason. All right game from him. The 3-point shot is killer. The 3-point shot is something that's going to be tough. But Paul Blunt coming in, using his channel membership super chat member for 7 months, saying, I want to thank the Raptors Digest for doing such a great job this season and getting us through a long winter. Raptors Digest, you're the real MVP. Paul, you're the real MVP. All you guys out there that support the channel, that is huge. I'm gonna be ranting a lot on this. I'm still in a little bit of shock if you can't see it on my face. But Paul, you're an absolute legend. You're the first guy I saw with the ruby leaf by his name. So Paul, we greatly appreciate you, and we appreciate everyone. I'm gonna keep saying that throughout this podcast. I'm feeling it. The Raptors lost, but this is just the beginning, folks. This is just the beginning of this Toronto Raptors team. Scotty Barnes, 21 years old. OG Anunoby, still only 23. He was killing it for the first few games of the series. Gary Trent Jr., pretty well the same age, right? We didn't have Fred VanVleet in the series, who was our all-star. I want to get to Fred VanVleet and chat about this. Siakam's just coming into his prime right now. We got Masai Ujiri ready to shake things up, put the right players around on this team, and it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge for this squad. Precious Achiuwa, balling out, and man, it's great. It's absolutely great. Love seeing that here, but yeah, that's Ken Burch started this one 5 minutes. I think he didn't do a bad job. I'm running through the players just so I can get to ranting. Precious Achiuwa, get the propaganda out going this entire season. Better than Bam. The next Giannis. I thought he had an amazing playoff series, a playoff debut for Precious Achiuwa. Couldn't have been better in my opinion. Couldn't have been expected more. Obviously, Precious Achiuwa is still a developing big man, still working his game, still getting his games going. But man, the way he went head-to-head with Embiid in this series is remarkable. But Chicken Tuna is saying Kyle Lowry will avenge us with the super chat. I gotta get the super chat going. Kyle Lowry will avenge us. Heat and 4. Raptors will be crazy next season. And yeah, that is facts. That is factuals. I'm cheering for the Miami Heat. I'm not a Heat fan. I don't like the team. I've said that over the course of the season. But just out of principle. Just out of principle. The Raptors get knocked. Honestly, usually I cheer for the team that knocked out the Raptors just so we look better. But the foul baiters got to me, man. The foul baiters got to me. I am not a fan of Joel Embiid and James Harden. It's gross. It's gross to watch. It's the only way to put it. I'm not hating. I'm hating, I guess. But I'm not out here just roasting saying it's the reason they won the refs and all that. But it's such an ugly form of basketball. You hate to see it. Marcel's coming in, super chat saying, all these bad trade talks in the chat is ridiculous. The fans sound like prom queen who got dumped and is desperate for a rebound. Marcel, yeah, we'll talk about trades potentially because the Raptors clearly have some holes, and I want to talk about this in this video too. Just the initial reactions. You got to get your heart out, your emotions out following a game. There's holes to this roster, but we can't get on with the same nonsense a lot of Raptors fans got on with last season, right? We can't get on with the crazy trade propositions. Siakam for Wiggins and stuff. Fred VanVleet I seen for nothing. We can't be at that. Marcel, completely agree. Leave the trade speculations to the vids and Courtside Digest. Love to see that. But William Chan saying, thanks for a great season. To everyone at Raptors Digest, Raptors will use this to fuel their season next year. Actual contenders, go Miami for now. Well, graciously appreciate you. Another channel member killing it for the just legend the Fantasy League. Also, the prizes are coming out for the Fantasy League. We wait till the end of the season because Riker and I are super chaotic things to get that stuff organized and tax season, all that stuff. But at the end of the season, we're giving it to the winners. I end up getting the W in the Fantasy League. I'm shouting myself out. But channel members, you're top 2 without exception to me. I won't buy myself a gift from the channel, but prizes will be coming. Guys, don't be interacting with Sixers wherever. Don't be interacting with the trolls in the chat. But where's Riker for the last game of the season? Riker's in school. Honestly, it's probably worked out because Riker school is picking up absolutely right now. So that's tough. But man, all I have to say is the Raptors are going to be good. But let's conclude the Game 6 talk because it was a brutal game. It was a horrible game to watch. The second half in particular, the Raptors I thought fought hard. In the first half, I was juiced. I was excited. But let's dive into the segments because we won't get to play these for a while. And tonight, the Spicy P Lay of the day. It's going to Scotty Barnes had a ferocious dunk at the end of here. We got some Chris Boucher, some nasty plays. Thaddeus Young, some great passes to Chris Boucher. Spicy P getting some M1, some blocks, some great. The Raptors had some big moments in this game, and honestly, I'm giving the Spicy Pele to Pascal Siakam. Just the end. His overall performance, I thought he played really, really well. That's what you want to see for the squad, for your star, from everything like that. But obviously, not all plays can be the Spicy Pele of the day, and some just make you say, "Oh, geez!" And tonight, the "Oh, geez" play of the day. Y'all know what it's going to. Y'all know what the OG's play of the day it's going to. It's Joel Embiid going out there looking like a clown, looking like a fool. And honestly, I love it. I want this Raptors Sixers because okay, I'll lay out the OGs, right? Joel Embiid goes down for a dunk. He's a front runner. The Sixers are front runners. They're like those LA Clippers, as JJ Redick used to, or who called them? Called those Doc Rivers teams. They're front runners. Joel Embiid was padding his stats. Went in for an open lane down the fourth. The game was out of reach. Threw down a dunk, and he was doing the plane thing that we were all roasting him for in 2019. You love to see I loved seeing the highlights of Joel Embiid selling and stuff in that series. Obviously, in this one, he did the airplane just to troll the fans. Honestly, I respect it. I want more. Like, obviously, you don't want actual hate. You don't let it get to you, Raptors fans. Don't let it get to you either side. You're winning or losing. But you want to see that adversity. You want to see that competition. As long as there's no like fights or injuries going on. I didn't like when Joel Embiid, purposely or not, was injuring people. Like, I don't think he did it on purpose, but I didn't like that stuff. I was getting angry about that. But you like the adversity, so we're gonna have to. We'll see the Sixers again. As Josh put it really well in his live stream. I got to get to Rahul's super chat, but Josh put it perfectly in his live stream. This is the trailer for the Toronto Raptors team. We are so young. Our bench isn't complete yet. We have so much developing to do. I'm going to be talking about this a bunch in the segments and stuff, Final Alarm. But what a preview for this Toronto Raptors rebuilding team. We got the fourth pick in the draft last year. That's how bad we were. And one season without major shakeups, just bringing in a rookie. This is what happens, right? Stop the hate. But Rahul's coming in with a super chat saying, Nurse rumors are going to start. Nurse rumors? What's Nurse? We can't trade Nurse, but locked in. He's locked in. I see what you're saying. I don't know. The Lakers, everyone wants Nurse. Everyone wants Masai. They're not getting him. It's my take. No way. But yeah, that's the OGs. Joel Embiid doing all that stuff. Got elbowed in the face the possession after. And the refs, I give an OGs too for them. I'm telling Doc, don't use your challenge. We'll have a look at it. Clearly wasn't, Siakam wasn't purposely elbowing him. And then they made him use his challenge again. Just a waste of time. I didn't like that. Like seeing that. And finally, the infamous, the one, the only, Golden Kazoo Award of the season. Folks, it's a Paul Pierce Golden Kazoo Award. We changed it this year. Shout out to Mari Carroll. The guy, the man, the myth, the legend, whatever you want to call him, to Mari Carroll. But are we going to have to change it to Joel Embiid? He's already in the spicy Pele of the day, eating spicy wings. Are we going to have to change this graphic to Joel Embiid blowing a golden kazoo? Let us know in the chat. Let us know. We'll see what happens. We obviously shake up the segments every year. But tonight, this is where I want to get into a little bit of just Raptors criticism for the game, because we got blown out. We got destroyed in this one. It's the only way to put it. But first things first. I know the center conversation is going to be coming up. It should be brought up. It should be discussed. Because if we can get a 7-footer that can play that mobile style of defense with this Raptors team, I would really like that. Maybe the draft is the route you go with that. But I'm excited to see Precious Achiuwa fulfill that starting role. Or fulfill that main big position. Because give him one more year of development. See what he can do. Right? That's going to be huge. But that was a little bit of a hole at times throughout this series. Oh, yeah. Rio McLovin is keeping me honest. He's keeping me honest. I didn't get this in time to throw it onto the graphics, but the true Golden Kazoo. Other Golden Kazoo, shooting. I'm going to talk about shooting for the Raptors offseason stuff. The biggest Golden Kazoo, you can see him, right? We obviously traded him for the Virgin Dragic for the Chad Thaddeus Young. The Virgin Dragic came out and looking like a fool. It's not in focus. Can you see this? I don't know if you can see this. I'm on the Bucks Digest Twitter account. But this guy threw out some laughing emojis. Can I adjust the focus on this? Oh, I probably ruined this for myself. Oh, that's tough. But Goran Dragic, you got swept, man. Goran Dragic, you are an absolute fool for saying anything about this Toronto Raptors team. You came in here with higher ambitions, and you know what? You went to a super team that got 0 wins in the playoffs. Against a Boston Celtics team that's essentially the same seed as the Sixers. Right? Get out of here, you clown. You are a fool. This guy, if he stuck around, if he wasn't sucking and balling about playing, Goran Dragic was trash for us. Biggest Golden Kazoo of the season. Right? We'll probably give our season awards at the end of this year. Right? Thank you, Rio. I appreciate you for reminding me of this. I was in my lethargic state, but the biggest Golden Kazoo of the season is going to Dragic, because the start of this year came in, I want higher ambitions. I'm going higher ambitions. I'm going to whatever team. Came in, I'm going to be professional. And I was like, all right, if you want to be professional, whatever. Plays absolute garbage the first 5 games of the season. So bad enough, right? A veteran, an all-star, a guy that we traded Kyle Lowry for, whatever. He played so bad Delano Banton, who had a good start to the year, stole every single one of his minutes. Every single one. That's how trash this man was. And you know what? Instead of sticking with the team, being a veteran leader, getting paid his $19 million, right? Instead of getting paid his $19 million, said, you know what? I'm going to go home, pretend I'm in Sylvania or do wherever, when he's actually practicing in the Miami Heat practice facility, being a clown, going to Heat games, sitting courtside, just being an absolute fool, making a mockery of himself. And you know what? We trade him. I'm happy we got Thaddeus Young back. Huge W for the Raptors. Get that clown out of here. He goes to Brooklyn, where he has higher ambitions, and he gets swept. Throw an L in the chat for Goran Dragic. He might have to get the what's it called? Golden Kazoo. Replace him there. So L for Dragic. Don't like that man. Dislike. That tweet alone just shows what a clown he is. I'm surprised I did that without swearing. I never swear on the podcast, but I was fired up there. I'm in a weird state right now. But that's enough Goran Dragic talk. Throw the L's in the chat for Goran Dragic. L of a man. But yeah, that's that. You know, back to the shooting. It's this is an L of a game. The second half was just a big golden kazoo for this season. Channel members, throw in your golden kazoos too. We got the kazoos out there as well. But I appreciate the spam. I like it. But folks, I think it's time. We really got to talk about this. Initial reactions to what we're gonna do coming into the season, right? What we're gonna do coming into the season. So, final alarm. Let's get this rocking. Woo 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 woo. Beep 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 beep. Woo 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 woo. Beep 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 beep. That's right. The final alarm is sounded, folks, and we want to hear what you guys have to say about this series, about this season. I don't really care about the series at this point. Raptors, we're a young team. We're developing. It's whatever. But I've refrained from Goran Dragic rants, but I had to do that when I saw that tweet. But folks, that's a tradition. Get a little leg spike going. Maybe not for this game, but just for a great season from the Toronto Raptors. Playing well, living life, doing our thing with our young players coming up. But a couple of holes that I saw, and I want to hear, I know there's going to be a few people making some wild trade takes and saying their stuff in the chat. I want to hear it. I want to hear everything. But give me your opinions on what we need to fix for this team, because our young core is phenomenal, right? And will the Starboy animation work? Yeah, the Starboy animation's working now. Gary Trent Jr. is super young. We got the rookie of the year in Scotty Barnes. So young, ready to play. Precious Achiuwa showing up on the big stage in these playoffs. Right, Precious out here balling out. We got a nice young core at a lot of positions. But what are our big holes? Now, I don't think the center position is a big issue. I think it's been a little bit overblown. It's been talked about, right? Our defense was pretty solid for most of the series in the playoffs, right? At times, especially when we didn't have Fred VanVleet injured at the top of the point of attack. But we clearly need shooting. That was evident in the game tonight. Obviously, missing Fred VanVleet is a huge, huge blow to that shooting. And obviously, I keep saying obviously. I got to stop saying that. But OG Anunoby coming out and getting his fouls early, being taken out of the game immediately by the referees, worthy or not, he just wasn't into it. He was not into this game. Him being taken out, clearly a huge hit to the shooting. Gary Trent Jr. can knock it down. Siakam is a good 4 for knocking it down. Precious Achiuwa can knock it down. But all those guys, with the exception of maybe Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr. is a killer mid-range jump shooter. None of those guys, I'd say, are automatic from behind the three-point line, if that makes sense. Even though they're higher, high 30s, and that might be the trade-off you sort of give when you want that defense. But if we could just have a couple of shooters coming off our bench that are reliable, that aren't unplayable on defense, that would be huge. That would be huge for this team. And Scotty Barnes. The award wasn't working earlier. Scotty Barnes award. 80-time Scotty Barnes award winner. His next development, and Scotty Barnes is going to be a superstar in this league. It is what it is. He is remarkable on defense. He's an elite passer, elite finisher around the rim. He does those three skills, defense, all that. at such an elite level, no matter if he develops a jump shot or not or improves, he is going to be a superstar in this league if he continues to just develop on that front. Where he can become he's going to become a star for sure. That's what I should have said. For him to become a superstar, for him to take us to the next level, it's tonight we saw Joel Embiid just sag off of Scotty. Now, he hit a couple threes. He hit a couple of them, but the confidence clearly isn't there just yet. And he just has to be able to be consistently kill people when they're knocking it down. And his form is strong enough to be able to hit him, right? His form is not broken by any means. If he can get that Kawhi-esque level of mid-range jump shooting, and three-point shot, he's going to be one of the best players in the NBA. It's just how it's going to work. It's just how it's going to work. So that's huge for this team. It's a final alarm. I want to hear what you guys have to say, and I'm skipping over the chats. We got a super chat coming in from the Chubb Sound Link saying, the chat's going super fast, but thanks for a great season and great live cast, post-game vibes. Appreciate it, Ben and Co. Greatly appreciate the super chat. Appreciate everyone in this chat. Y'all are legends. Clink, man, appreciate you. Always popping up in the chat, talking some raps. But yeah, enough of me sort of rambling. Scotty Barnes' jump shot. I feel like we should make a whole video just breaking down his next steps. And usually for young guys too, it's their third year, right? We saw with John Morant this season. Sometimes it's not though. Sometimes it's the second year. Sometimes it's whatever. But it's the third year where these stars that come in, usually super athletic, take that next step, that leap into superstardom. So we might have to wait for another year of Scotty Barnes just proving himself and then that superstar jump. So, but the pressure's on for him next season to really take that leap. We'll see what ends up happening with that. But Raptors were slated to miss the playoffs. 100% Ronnie Penn. Phil B, he's not. Okay, I'm missing stuff. We need a player like... Shout out to Svi. I'm not sure if we're going to be able... Actually, Svi's under contract for next year, but I don't know if we're going to see much Svg Water animations going forward. But it's my favorite animation. Didn't live up to the animation. But Scotty, Precious, and Gary Trent Jr. are going to be massive going forward. Our depth should be a small S5 minute management, so we should be better when plays start. I'm not sure what that is, but that's what's happening. Yeah, and Buster's saying Scotty Barnes' jump shot is close. It's close, 100%. If he can get to that just elite jump shooting level, that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. But because the Raptors are out, I'm a cheer. I'm cheer for the Mavs because I'm watching Luka. I'm Mavs. I'm all in on the Mavs, baby. I'm going down there with Marcel and hopping on Courtside Digest and rooting for them Dallas Mavericks. That's what you wanna see. That's what you wanna see. Luka's come out and sweep whoever they're playing. But yeah, they got a Dwight Powell in there killing it. But Carter Faye saying, tough night. Thank you, Ben, for a great season podcast. Carter, appreciate you in the chat. Appreciate you you rocking out. But Mo Bamba is a guy. You guys interested in getting Mo Bamba this year? I don't know. I feel like the speculation on the random players that we talked about all trade deadline might not be ideal for this one. But just in terms of what we saw from our guys this year, what would you pay Chris Boucher? Let me know in the chat what you guys think you'd pay for Chris Boucher. What would he get? 10,000 or 10 million? 11 million? He's a 3-and-D guy. He's an elite guy off the bench. That's what's happening. KO saying you a bandwagon hopper. No, I've been when your team's knocked out, you got to cheer for some team. I'm a basketball fan. That's what's happening. But Fred to the Pelicans for a lottery pick? Ty, what are you talking about? Fred VanVleet was an all-star this year. Fred VanVleet was an absolute all-star this year. So he'll come back and win MVP next year in the Croatian League. Buster, you out here wilding. But develop Mo Bamba into a defensive beast. He is an ultimate long boy. That is true. 16 million 2 years, not worth his contract right now. I give him 8 million a year, 100%. That's great for there. Clint Capella would be a great trade target. Well, I completely agree. If we can get Clint, be a lob threat, that would be huge for the squad. I don't know if the Hawks would get rid of him because they need defense themselves. Even though we don't need defense, we need a 7-footer. But okay, I can't root for the Sixers, man. Can't do it. I'm not out here hating. Like we're well, I don't know if a rivalry. The thing I'm excited about this a little bit. And I was saying this earlier, just before this podcast. I was talking to Riker. Riker's in class. He still called me and stuff. But Raptors are a young franchise, right? They're like the Charlotte Hornets. They're like those franchises that came in during, 1995? We don't have a huge, long history. We don't have a history of facing off against the Celtics, the Sixers, and stuff. Our history has been the past, since Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan took us to the playoffs, right? We obviously had the series with Vince, but I guess that's a part of the history. That's definitely there. But we get a couple more just meme series or series where there's stuff happening against, Joel Embiid's flying his airplanes, Drake's out there roasting on Twitter. We can get a few more rivalries. I'd just love to see that because we got to build up, long term of the Raptors, and we've been one of the best franchises in the league for the past decade. So it's nice to see that stuff happening. But next year's give me Sixers first round, Celtics second. We're going to sweep them both. Not that series. 100%. 100%. This is just the trailer, folks. This is the trailer for the Toronto Raptors team. We're going to be balling out next year. But imagine rooting for a team that will be gone in the second round. Lol. That's what's happening to the Sixers. That's what I'm saying. But DeJounte Murray and Moses Brown? If we can get DeJounte Murray, that guy averaged like a triple-double this year and clean triple-double. But yeah, we won the chip. Love to see this, but Fred of the Pelicans sounds bad, but would be giving Scotty the ability to be the main ball handler, but drafting a potential start 8th. Like I see your logic, especially where we played better with Fred, but people are just picturing the Fred VanVleet that has been hobbled for the past month. That's not Fred VanVleet, guys. That's not Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet is an all-star. He literally won the All-Star award this year. We can't trade him for a lottery pick, guys. We can't trade him for a lottery. Number 1 pick, maybe. Top 3 pick. You're sold on someone at the top of the draft. Fits the timeline. I trust Messiah enough if he did that. But Fred VanVleet is a beast, guys. Fred VanVleet is a monster. You need a massive return if you're going to give him up. But we don't need trades. We need development. The core is there. 100% Matthew Winter. And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to trade the core unless you're getting something ridiculous back. However, we do need a bench. We need a few more guys that can sort of play, can do. I like the 6'9" lineup, and keeping Boucher is going to be a huge priority. Keeping Thaddeus Young, I think, in my opinion, should be a huge priority. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting to see how this bench plays out. Who we got to pay, because you got to think going forward too. Fred VanVleet's got player option next season. OG, I don't know when his contract runs out. Gary runs out after next season, so that's gonna be tough. Rio saying throw out Malachi and Kem. I don't mind Kem Birch. I don't mind Kem Birch as insurance, but if we can get another 7-foot center, then Kem Birch becomes redundant. But especially if we keep Precious, we keep Thad, we keep Chris Boucher. Zane saying bring back Damari Carroll for the veteran leadership. Bring him home, boys. Bring him home. But who do we think should be on the trading block? Nah. No one's on the trading block for anything. Abiv Avsud is saying thanks for everything, guys. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. But for the 3rd season in a row, give me Miles Turner. Seb, honestly, at this point, we just have to trade for him. There's been so many rumors. There's been so much speculation. Just bring him home, guys. Bring him home. That Miles Turner could be cool for this team. But what about Zach Edey from the draft? Josh is the expert on Zach Edey. He could be cool. Where's he projected to be drafted, folks? Where's he projected to be drafted? I feel like we need someone a bit more mobile, though. I think that's the route for this Toronto Raptors team. We could have reused Vince Carter shooting. Hey, man, he only just came out of retirement a couple years ago. Bring him back. Bring him back. But Pascal redeemed himself big time since the bubble. 100%. Pascal has been balling, killed it in the playoffs. No one can call him a playoff choker at this point. The dude was literally doing this without his other all-star, with a bunch of rookies around him. Took a team with 2 MVPs, or one guy that was in the MVP consideration for the past 2 years, James Harden, who isn't playing like a super MVP, but honestly, Tyrese Maxey was playing like an MVP, so that's what's happening. If the Raptors learned anything this playoffs, it's that you need a superstar that can score at will. No one on the Raptors is that. Phil B, I agree. Like, if you want to trash on Siakam, well, don't trash on him, but if you want to say that he's not top 5 number 1 option, top 10 number 1 option in the league, yes, but he's a legitimate guy that can hoist like an all NBA player, but he doesn't get easy shots. That's the one thing about Pascal Siakam. None of his shots are just super easy. He has to work for every single one of them. So if Scottie Barnes can develop into a guy, and we've seen it, because Scottie Barnes shows potential of just getting to the rim at will. The jump shot, right? The way he does those post hooks, they look so fluid. They look so easy. He can get them whenever he wants, right? If he can just polish that game up a little bit, have that more 1A mentality and getting those shots, and then a mid-range jumper, even just a midi, and then a reliable enough three, but just a Kawhi-esque midi that is automatic, that's wet. And we've seen it come and go for Scottie Barnes over the course of his rookie season. That's going to be unstoppable. Siakam as your number 2 option. Scottie Barnes as your number 1 go-to scoring guy that can pass. Because obviously there's a bunch of ifs. There's development. There's everything that has to go on. So don't get me too hyped. And I feel like we're probably one more year away before Scottie Barnes really develops that. But think about Scottie Barnes with Kawhi shooting. He's a better player than Kawhi if he has that shooting level. His passing is way more elite. His leadership is energizing, right? He plays a lot faster. That's Scottie Barnes, man, with that Kawhi level midi and 3-point shot. He's got the mentality for it. He got the gamesmanship. His handle is Kawhi's handle turned into something ridiculous when he came to the Raptors, but his handle is already kind of there, right, for this team. If you're not excited, guys, if you're not excited about this team, then that's what's happening. All the Sixers fans acting like they didn't pick them to lose this game now. I'm one of a few. Okay, yeah, and the Sixers fans have the right to celebrate this. It's a big series win. Raptors are a tough team to face against. We got the grit and grind, and while there's still questions about Harden, even though Harden played well in this one, Maxey, you got a real one in Maxey. Sixers fans, you got a real one in Maxey. That's huge for you folks. So, love to see that. But the Pistons are like the 72-10 Bulls to us. Yeah, that's true. But let's see the confidence of Scottie. Folks, I'm just rambling here. I'm in a state of excitement for the future, but obviously it hurts because I felt confident that the Raptors would be able to come back. I did. I felt confident they'd win this series. It's unfortunate when that doesn't happen, but the one thing I will say, my final rant, my final take on this season, we're going to be still making videos, don't stress that, folks, but just initial post-game reaction. This is good for the Raptors long term. They got a taste of a proper playoff series. If we got swept and Scottie Barnes was injured, all that sort of stuff, brutal. L sucks. You don't get that experience. But Scottie Barnes clearly knows what he needs to work on, especially in this game. The jump shot needs to be there. Precious Achiuwa knows that he needs to be able to get more consistent, keep staying in the gym, keep grinding, keep developing. Because if your young team tastes too much success early on, you might get what happened to the Atlanta Hawks last season, right? They kind of rested on that their laurels of making it to the Eastern Conference Finals with Trae Young and whatever year he was in, DeAndre Hunter. They didn't make that many steps forward. They didn't take that many steps up. Didn't improve that much. And they barely made the playoffs this season. Got knocked out in the first round. You get these learning experiences for Gary, for Scottie, for Precious, especially the young guys I'm talking about, even OG Anunoby. You give them the opportunity to take the summer, take that feeling of almost making history, right? Everyone was talking about the Raptors potentially coming back, doing that stuff. You get a taste of it there. And that taste is all you need to keep you going for developing into the offseason. So this is good for us in the long term, I think, unless obviously we want a chip and all that sort of stuff. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this team does. But folks, once again, we greatly appreciate all of you folks that watched us throughout this entire season. It was a great year. It was up and down. Lots of fun storylines. Lots of fun players in this Raptors team. And just lots of fun nights. Chilling with the chat. Obviously, we don't do as many live streams in the off-season, just given there's not much to react to initially. So we make our videos a little bit more polished and stuff. But folks, subscribe to Raptors Digest. It's huge for us. But we have a lot of things coming with the Digest Media brand. I don't know if Marcel's still here, but Courtside Digest, I'll be on there a bunch more now that the Raptors are over. We'll talking all NBA content, pushing for the Mavs. Subscribe to Courtside Digest if you haven't already there. And subscribe to Raptors Digest too if we're still going to be making content. We're still going to be making stuff happening. But And super chat coming in as I'm sort of rambling on from the Chubstown Clink saying, the Chubstown Clink, our boys are going to be hungry next year. We are the next year's Memphis, except scary development for Barnes, Gary Trent Jr., Precious, Bonga, Banton, Justin to start next year. I love the Banton shout out. Banton's going to be a huge topic of discussion this offseason as well. So appreciate the super chat. Coming in legendary out here for this the end of this one. And again, check out Courtside, check out Raptors, but also I'm plugging it while we're live. We're plugging it while we're live. The squad in this game came out, balled out in this one. Or F1 Digest, that's been launched. That's been rocking out. If you're a fan of F1, check out those guys over there. Mark and Tyson are killing it. Josh, and you want more of Josh, the Goody Mob, check out Leafs Digest. That's the Leafs playoff season's coming up, so I gotta check out those games. And Jay's Digest. First TikTok has been made for Jay's Digest. They're officially TikTok, YouTube Shorts. The videos are going to be coming soon on there too. So stay tuned for everything that's going to happen. But folks, that's what's happening there. And finally, one last rant. Got to give a shout out to BetSamp for sponsoring us over the course of these playoffs. Folks, there's going to be a lot of fun things happening for this NBA playoffs. You guys want the best odds. They're the Trivago of betting companies, right? You can check them out with the link in the description down below and get your best odds, because the Toronto Raptors unfortunately can't bet on now. Can't get my poor betting tips, but the Mavericks are the team you want to look at. Bet against the 76ers. Bet on our guy Kyle Lowry. You want those odds. Use the BetStamp application and get the most bang for your buck. That's what you want to do. Goody Mob is there. People are calling for a final spike for this game, for this series, and it's huge. It's huge. But folks, another season in the books. We appreciate everyone here. And Rahul is saying, what's Blue Jays Digest TikTok? Super chat coming in. Saying the TikTok, it's coming up. We got our guy. We got our guy Keegan killing it on figuring out the ropes, getting stuff. He's been doing social media for Raptors Digest. Big Jays fan. YouTube's going to be coming the next week or two, so we'll keep you guys updated on all that sort of stuff. But the Raptors will be good. W's all the way around. Lowry going down, I guarantee. It is what it is. But LF is saying thank you for the great Raptors content, Ben. Won't stop coming. It won't stop coming. We're giving it to you guys all summer long. It might be a little bit of a break, so I don't know if there's going to be much Raptors news over the past month, but you guys know we love the offseason. Love the trade rumors. Love the free agent rumors, so we'll be coming in hot with there. But Lyric Burner saying, T.O., losing feels like a close friend, family member died. Yeah, it sucks, but I feel like this year there's still positives at the end of it. We're playing with house money this year, so love to see that. But folks, greatly appreciate all of you guys. Not that serious, saying thanks, Raptors Digest, the best place to air it out. Appreciate all you guys coming into the chat. But content's still coming, folks. And check out BetSamp. Helps us out big time. If you want to make some bets, want to do all that stuff, use the link down below. But yeah, I'm in a state right now. In a state, meditative, feeling good about this team. Enough of me rambling. You guys best for making this far. Check the Instagram, the TikTok, the Twitter. I feel like I've been plugging things for the past 5 minutes. You guys are rocking out. What will happen to the channel? Content doesn't stop on the Raptors Digest, baby. Content doesn't stop on the Raptors Digest. Courtside Digest, Leafs Digest, F1 Digest, Bucks Digest might be coming too. So we'll get all that stuff. Adventures Smiles, appreciate you all. I'm shouting out everyone. That's in the chat. Get to 100 likes. We appreciate everyone. The views are going down. Enough of me rambling. We will see you guys soon. Breaking down the Raptors content. I know Riker's got a lot to say about this series as well. So it's coming soon. Appreciate it. You guys are the best. Cheers.